I said in 2024, there will be battles, there will be wars, but not because the church will initiate the battles, but because the world will. They know no boundaries. There are no sacred cows in the world. You've noticed yourself just the number of movies that where more and more, the number of times in movies where they take the Lord's name in vain. You see in every commercial now almost, they're going to make sure, due to the pressure of George Soros and his group, that there's a homosexual couple shown in the commercial. They know we're going to get you to accept this. We'll just flash it at you. The world is consistent in pushing its message out. The preacher was right when he said, when he talked about Oprah Winfrey. I don't know why anybody would, as a Christian, would support anyone who says that Jesus is not the only way to God.
You're moving toward the darkness or you're moving toward the light. Right. She calls it fear and love. There's this wonderful book called Ishmael by Daniel Quinn, which is, anyway, it's a gorilla talking, but anyway, it talks about one of the points it brings out is one of the mistakes that human beings make is believing that there is only one way to live. That's right. That we don't accept that there are diverse ways of being in the world, that there are millions of ways to be a human being. And many ways, but many paths to what you call God. And her path might be something else, and when she gets there, she might call it the light. But her loving and her kindness and her generosity brings her, if it brings her to the same point that it brings you, it doesn't matter whether she called it God along the way or not.
And I guess the danger that could be on that, I mean, it sounds great on the onset, but if you really look at both sides,
there couldn't possibly be just one way. What about Jesus? What about Jesus?
He brings him up in this whole discussion, and you say there isn't only one way. There is one way and only one way, and that is through Jesus.
There couldn't possibly be with the millions of people in the world. There couldn't possibly be.
Because you intellectualize it and say there isn't. If you don't believe that, you're all buying into the lie.
But that makes you right. Do you think that if you are somewhere on the planet, if you're somewhere on the planet and you never hear the name of Jesus, you never hear the name of Jesus, but yet you live with a loving heart, you lived as Jesus would have had you to live, you lived for the same purpose that Jesus came to the planet to teach us all, but you are in some remote part of the earth and you never heard the name of Jesus. You cannot get to heaven, you think?
And that is covered in the scriptures too. People are talked about
Truly, that. God knows the heart.
Does God care about your heart, or does God care about if you call his son Jesus?
Well, Oprah, Jesus cannot come back until that gospel is preached in the four corners of this earth. So, figure it out.
I don't support her. I'm not going to see a movie that she makes or anything else, because I know that she's the enemy of Christ. And anytime she or anyone else, and she's not the only one in Hollywood who are putting things on, we got to know that they're trying to unravel what we believe. As never before, the saints have got to gear up for a fight. Jesus did not simply save us to save us. He saved us for us to serve him. He's looking for servants. He's looking for people who will stand on the front lines and continue to declare God's truth.